So we told Val that your guys' episode is one of our top performing episodes.
Really?
In our top 10, yeah.
You've really elevated everything and you guys are
nicer.
killing it. I'm just so proud. I'm so happy for you.
But we did tell Val we need to see who's this gonna do better now.
Oh,
Solo.
snap.
Yeah, he wanted to take the credit, so we were like, well,
I love a
we're
competition.
gonna have Jenna on, and here we are.
Who the common denominator is.
No pressure.
Good luck.
Jeez, you guys. How can I compete with that slicked back hair,
Right?
little accent he has? I mean, he's hot.
And he dipped me. He's here. What are we gonna do?
We'll see. We both are very opinionated. We're both Aries, if that means anything to anybody. We're fire and fire. We both think we're right most of the time.
I'm manifesting.
Thank you. Do I owe this to you? Do I owe the Mirrorball to you?
keep it. It's fine.
Julianne Hough, remember seeing her dance one time, and I was just like, I think that's when she booked Deal or No Deal.
Was she a Deal or No Deal
Yes,
girl?
I'm quite positive she was a suitcase girl.
I have to see if this Deal or No Deal thing is real because
I'm
this will
quite
blow.
positive. We need to text her. I'm quite positive it was Deal or No Deal.
Very close. I was not a deal or no deal girl, but I was.
Jenna, welcome back to the Squeeze.
Thank
Back,
you.
back. We are so excited to have you back. We told Val that obviously we're excited to have him back, and your guys' episode is one of our top performing episodes we
Still.
have.
Really?
In our top 10, yeah.
I loved that day. That was so, I had just had my baby. It was kind of like
Yeah.
getting back into things. And I just remember being so like warm and fuzzy here.
Aw.
And now you've really elevated everything
looks
and you
a
guys
little
are
nicer.
killing it. I'm just so proud. I'm so happy for you. Like, yes.
Thank you. I actually watched the interview back this
Really?
morning, and I feel like we had fun. We were like giggly and chatty, and I don't really think we
So fun.
like closed the loop on anything because we were like just pinging ideas.
How long ago was it?
This was over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 2 years.
Yeah.
We
Rome
had our
was-
original set,
Yeah.
the black couches.
Yeah. Black
Wow.
Hat. Yeah. Everything. Rome was, I think,
Like,
4 months.
Yeah. That
Now
is
he's-
nuts.
Now he's a freaking toddler.
Yeah.
Running the world. But
Just like a
But
little
we did
man.
tell Val, we were like, it's one of our top performing episodes. So we had him on. We were like, we need to see who's this going to do better now.
Oh,
Solo.
snap.
Yeah. He wanted to take the credit, so we were like, well,
I love a
we're
competition.
gonna have Jenna on, and here we are. So we had Val, now we have you,
No pressure.
and yeah, we're gonna see who it was.
okay.
Who the common denominator is. That
Yeah.
really, that our lemon drops really connected with.
No pressure.
Yeah. I know. I am actually curious to see what that is. Good luck.
Jeez, you guys. How can I compete with that slicked back hair, little
Right?
accent he has? I mean, he's hot.
Yeah, and he dipped me.
And he dips you.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do?
We'll see. What am I going to do today? Dip her?
We'll do some lifts after.
Yes.
Okay, so we start each episode off with this jar. It's a game called Citrus Got Real.
Okay.
If you want to pull a little piece of paper out of there,
So cute.
and you can read it to us. Did you cheat?
I may
You
have.
just said yes. You planted it.
I did.
You know what? Okay.
It's a good one. Don't worry.
Oh, if you had to hop on a flight right now, all expenses paid, where would you travel to? Ooh, that is so good.
Isn't that good? We go to the airport right now. You can choose anywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Where you going?
Okay.
Where am I
I know I actually don't know the answer, but it was a good question.
You know where I'm going to go?
Where?
I'm going to go to Rome, Italy. And the reason why is because that place holds a very significant moment in my life. It was the first place I'd ever been to in Europe, and Val took me there. It was also the first place that we went to after we'd broken up and got back together.
Oh.
And it's where we refell in love. I really feel like it just established our roots in our relationship in a new way. And our son is named from that beautiful city. So I would love to take my family and go to Rome. It's just one of my favorite places in the world. It's so beautiful. The food is just, I mean, good Italian food, plus the art, the history, the museums. It's just like spectacular. Val and I have this thing where we have a really hard time going to beach vacations.
Okay.
We get really anxious after like 2 days of doing nothing on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just like, what do we do with ourselves? We just don't know how to like sit down and relax, which we're working on. But we love walking. We love travel. We love running around the whole city, like being so exhausted, getting all of our steps in. We love art. He's like really got me onto museums and stuff. And so, I just think it would be so fun. And I haven't been back there since.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I went one time. I would say this was 8 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'd love to go back.
Aw.
And bring my little Roma.
Yeah. So is that what you named him after? Like
Yes.
that trip? Like you guys falling in love?
Yeah. That's for me what it represents. For Val, Val came up with the name actually. So
He did take credit for that.
I'll give it to him. I'll give it to that
I
guy.
do remember that.
He did come up with it. And I thought it was so beautiful. But I think it has different meanings for both of us.
Yeah.
He really wanted like a romantic name for his son and everything. And I just was like, this is perfect because it's our love story. And he was made with so much love. So
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Rome. That's where I would go.
Really not gonna. I have no clue how I'm gonna.
Yeah, we're not going to top that one.
Think of anywhere close
Wait,
to it.
but I'm just curious, when you go on vacations, who are you guys more like activity people? You're like, you got to keep the day busy. You want to be scheduling this and
like
that.
we have to wake up and go to the gym and like keep a routine.
Yeah.
I can't just let myself go for a week, which working on.
Yeah. No.
But I love to be like, ooh, I want to feel my best on vacation instead of like slump. But we love like activities. If we're just letting the hours go by, we're anxious.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can go on vacation together.
But maybe like people
I
like
think
you
we
would
could,
help
though.
us.
Yeah, we love that.
We think I feel like we could, in the sense of it would level out. But also we haven't been on a vacation like that before. Like when we go, we've only been on like actual like trip vacation a couple. Well, that's a lie. When we were with our friends, we hopped around Europe and that we did stuff.
Yeah, like Cognac was scheduled with activities.
Yeah,
guys, we could go together and we could do every other day. One day is chill. One day is explore. One day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I like both.
Yeah. I think we just haven't done a lot of. We want to go, like, we really want to go to Tokyo. There's places in Europe we really want to go. But I think we're nervous to do it just us because I don't know how that will be like for Taylor with the traveling. Like, I think that's why we haven't done it. That's why I haven't spearheaded the idea of like, I don't know, walking the streets of Rome. Like, how is that going to be for you?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I guess we have to go now.
I've been to Rome twice, I think, on a press tour, but always for 24 hours.
For like work and in and out.
I haven't been able to explore it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to put you in disguise, but there's nothing like walking around just in the city of love, really.
Yeah.
Just like cobblestone and everyone's like outside eating pastas and it's just music's playing in the distance.
Yeah.
There's a Colosseum right there in the middle of the city. It's just,
What's the fountains called?
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
Cut it out. It's fine.
The truth.
Oh, she knows. She knows.
That exactly.
Yes.
I did that.
You threw the thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like
the fountain of love.
Wait, what do you throw?
Like a penny or a coin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in a Disney movie.
Probably.
Yeah. It's very famous.
Okay.
But it's always like flooded with tourists.
Yes.
And like we were there on one of the Twilight press tours.
Yeah.
So we literally pulled up in like our van with security and everything, pulled up. I jumped out. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of people at the fountain.
Yeah.
I jumped out for 5 seconds, did the coin.
Made
and then
your love
jumped
wish.
right back in. Yeah, very quickly and efficiently.
Do you wish for me?
Yes, I wished for you.
Probably was
Yes,
there.
exactly.
See, you guys need to go to Rome together.
That you wished for me before I was probably
in
even 18.
2011.
Yeah, I was 12. No, I probably was though. It's fine. You were young too. I'm excited to. We didn't like dive into your dance origin and all of that stuff. And Taylor, I feel like, learned a little bit from Val about the Utah dance world.
Yeah.
Fascinates me.
And all of it.
The Mecca.
I mean, yeah, I guess I kind of want to know, like, when did dance start for you?
I started when I was 3.
Okay.
I have 2 older sisters, and they were both dancers.
Okay.
They are both dancers. But they were going to this studio out in Utah. It's called Center Stage Performing Arts Studios. And so they were actively in dance and competitive dance. And so I would kind of just get hauled along with the carpool. And I was obsessed. I would try to run into the dance classes. And they start kids really young there. So when I was 3, I got put into this like cute little combo class. I just remember it sparked something. Like, don't know what it was, but I just remember like that was the first time I kind of fell in love, if that's even a thing, or like passion started for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started at the studio. And mind you, this studio is where Derek, Julianne, myself, Lindsay, Whitney, Ezra, Riley, Brandon, we've all come from this same studio.
Jeez.
Where it all began for us. And so I was surrounded by epic dancers. And, you know, I think when you're growing up, you're like, oh, I'm going to try out soccer. I'm going to try out this. I'm going to try this. I never wanted to try anything else because I was just so set on like, I loved dance. And my mom never had to convince me to go to class or rehearsal. So that's when it started for me. And yeah, I'm so glad that I also had 2 sisters to kind of follow in their footsteps. They ended up transitioning. One of my sisters, my oldest sister, she's 11 years older than I am. So she became one of my first teachers as well.
Wow.
So she was one of my first company directors. She really guided me and helped me become into the dancer that I am today. And then I have a sister who's 3.5 years older than me. Once she graduated high school, she transitioned into being a teacher as well, and she was my company director as well. So
Wow.
I'm really lucky to have them. They are my guides, and even to this day, like when I'm choreographing for the show, if I'm stuck or I don't feel good about something, one of my routines, I'll send them the video and I'll be like, advice, help, SOS. What do I need to do? What do I need to fix? They're just so smart, and they know my style.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it all kind of started for me.
That's so awesome. I had no clue about that.
Yeah.
That's really, really a family
It's
thing.
so crazy to me that there is this one place in
You
America
can't let this go.
that, and Val said it, like it's either the Chmerkovskys
Yep.
or the Utah girlies.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It really
those are the
is.
best dancers in the world.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Again, there's a lot of discipline there.
But what's the secret sauce? How are they producing all these people, including yourself?
In Utah, you get your kids into something early.
Yeah.
Like you want to find their passion early. And I kind of love that about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's involved in extracurricular activities. Everyone's in sports or dance or gymnastics, and you just like do it and you grow up with kids doing it. So there's this great camaraderie. There's this great like essence of team from a young age, which I think is really special, where you don't find that in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
But it's also competitive, which sometimes to a fault, I think we need to like have a healthy balance.
Yeah.
But it is very competitive.
Yeah, it'll push you to be the best.
But you know, it's so interesting. Man, life is so crazy. But I remember because Julianne Hough, she moved to London for a while. She's from Utah, but she moved to London. She did a lot of her ballroom training out there. She danced with Mark Ballas. And I think for her senior year of high school, she came back to Utah. Okay. She like kind of stopped and was coming back to Utah. And I remember she started doing private lessons. And I remember seeing her dance one time, and I was just like dumbfounded at how a specimen could be so stunning and like sexy and sensual, but elevated. And so I was like, begged my mom, please, can I take a private lesson from her? Like, please, 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 please. So she was like, okay. So I took this Latin, and I just kind of gotten introduced to ballroom at this point, because I started with like a jazz, ballet, tap, you know, all the core stuff. And I wanted to take ballroom. And so we started doing private lessons after school on like Fridays. And one of our private lessons, she came in, she was wearing these like little jean shorts. She was the hottest thing I'd ever seen. And I was just like, OMG, I get to learn cha-cha locks from Julianne Hough. And then one day she called my mom and she was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I booked this gig in LA and I don't think I'll be able to do a private lesson with Jenna this week. I think that's when she booked Deal or No Deal. And then she literally never came back to Utah. She just like, bye. She like,
was she a Deal or No Deal girl?
yes, I'm quite positive she was a suitcase girl because we watched her and I was like, that's my cha-cha teacher. But then she like literally never came back to Utah and then she just became Julianne Hough. But I remember like that was the first time I had idolized somebody being like, OMG, like there's something special about her that I really want that. So yeah, I'm so grateful that I got like a little piece of Julianne's training before she took off and became freaking superstar.
That's such a good story.
Yeah.
Some of her
Well, I mean, what was she starred in a movie.
She did Footloose.
Footloose.
Yes.
Yep.
But that was after Dancing with the Stars. And then she did her
Right.
music career. Then she did Footloose and then Burlesque. Like,
I have to see if this Deal or No Deal thing is real because
I'm
this will
quite
blow-
positive.
This will blow my mind.
we need to text her. I'm pretty sure that's like one of her first gigs was a Deal or No Deal.
There's a good
figure it
chance she was one of my first crushes if she was a Deal or No Deal girl because that like the age I was at.
Yeah.
Some of my first crushes were Deal or No Deal girls.
Yeah. When they like open the briefcase and you're
Yeah.
like, how much money are we getting?
Yeah, I was like,
I can see
wow, I like number 12. Dang, she only had $5 in there. Like, and then they have to
on the
leave for the
next.
rest of the episode. Isn't that funny?
that. I can't wait for us to call her.
You are so funny. I know. I'm very curious about this. Okay, Lemon Drops, big news. Roback is back with a brand new drop, and this one's all about comfort, movement, and elevating your athleisure. First up, say hello to the just-launched Era high-rise shorts. These are your new go-to for everything active. With a sleek high-rise fit and lightweight performance fabric, they're built for workouts, weekend walks, and everything in between. Plus, they've got just the right amount of stretch and structure to keep you feeling supported and confident all day. And if you missed them before, the Sydney Skort and Everyday Active Dress are also some new spring arrivals. The Sydney Skort blends a sporty function with a flattering fit, featuring built-in shorts, functional pockets, and an easygoing silhouette that works wherever your day takes you. The Everyday Active Dress is an instant favorite, stylish, sweat-ready, and perfect for everything from early workouts to late lunches. Breathable, moisture-wicking, and designed to move with you. Both the Skort and the dress come in a gorgeous summer blue color called Birdie Blue. It's the perfect pop of color to add to any outfit. You guys know how much I love being comfortable. I want to be comfortable in my clothes all day, every day. It's something that is important to me. But just because I strive to be in comfortable clothes doesn't mean I have to sacrifice actually looking good and elevated in the clothes that I wear. And that's why I love this Roback drop, because this athleisure wear is truly cute. You can use code SQUEEZE at roback.com for 20% off your first order now through the end of the week. That's RHOBACK.com and use code SQUEEZE for 20% off your first order now through the end of the week. Lemon Drops, if you have a dog at home, you are going to want to listen to this, because I have to introduce you to Remy and Lily's favorite food, which is Ollie. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 delicious flavors even the pickiest of eaters will love. It is made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients. Ollie's food also contains no fillers, no preservatives, just real food. And here's the thing, healthier food means a happier pup, more energy, shinier coats, better poops, and more excitement at mealtime. That last sentence I just read to you is so true for my dogs. We know that Remy is a happy pup, but Lily, on the other hand, she's definitely more docile dog. She tends to keep to herself. She doesn't really like to play. She just kind of wants to sleep, doesn't have the most energy, but the difference I have seen in her energy is actually unreal. And it's all thanks to Ollie. She has more energy. She wants to play with Remy. She wants to pick up a toy. She'll literally just pick up a toy by herself, which she really has never done. And it's super simple. All you have to do is fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz. They'll create a customized meal plan based off of your pup's weight, activity level, and other health info. You guys need to check out Ollie. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/squeeze. Tell them all about your dog and use code SQUEEZE to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you will get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/squeeze and enter code SQUEEZE to get 60% off your first box. So every couple years, I like to do a bedding reset. I like to get new sheets and I feel like they need to freshen up. And I've been trying to figure out what sheets to get. And I came across Quince's European linen sheets. And when I tell you guys, one night with Quince's European linen, and I finally understood the hype because the difference was immediate. These sheets are light, breathable, and super soft with that perfectly lived-in vibe, woven from 100% European flax linen. They have the heirloom quality and get softer with each wash. And the same goes with their ultra plush duvets, quilts, pillows, and shams too. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Something else that I love about Quince is when I started looking for new bedding can be so expensive, you guys, and it's kind of crazy how expensive it is. But that's what I love about Quince is you're getting the same quality of bedding, but half the cost of similar brands. After trying out these sheets, I immediately bought more for our guest bedroom because our guests need to experience this kind of elevated sleep. After working through COVID, I value sleep so much, and having cozy sheets to sleep in is an absolute must. So let your bed match the season with cool, relaxed bedding from Quince. Go to quince.com/squeeze for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/squeeze to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/squeeze. Wait, okay. I remembered my question from way back when. What did you say what age you started ballroom?
I started ballroom around 8 to 10.
Okay. Is that norm, like at Center Stage, does everyone do all normal styles and ballroom?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what makes this specific studio so unique.
Okay.
Is because you cross train. Instead of picking one, like being a convention kid and just doing these couple of styles, we always did both. And that was something that just made us stand out always at competitions. But we had partnering, which a lot of young kids don't get. And so we already knew how to like interact with a guy, do lifts, do these different things. So yeah, I was like 8 to 10 starting ballroom.
It's so cool.
Dancing with a boy for the first time.
It's funny you say that though, because I grew up dancing. I obviously had no ballroom, anything, no male partner experience. And then I went to college for dance for a little bit before nursing, but that was the first time I'd ever partnered with a guy. And it was a little odd to me at first because I was like, how, like, I'm just going to trust someone. I mean, I was always the one that was like lifted in things, but it wasn't like, I'm not like trusting this one human to lift me and like actually dancing with someone. It is different.
I always tell people, especially dancers wanting to come out here and be an industry dancer, commercial dancer, the ones that always get hired are the ones that have experience in partnering. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And it's so unique to me, or so interesting to me, that some of the best industry dancers, like, they're just smashing it. And as soon as you put them in a partner scenario, they stress ball change and like cannot do a step and like panic.
Yeah.
It's so mind blowing to me. So I'm so grateful that like at a young age, I was thrown into these scenarios where my teammate was a guy and we had to figure it out and make it work. And I love it.
Yeah. Were you always like, I'm doing dance forever? Or did it get to a point where you got older and you were like, okay, do I want to actually like pursue this professionally, or what was that for you?
Yeah, I remember at 16, I tried to convince my parents to let me graduate early and move to LA and try to get started working and dancing. And they were already stressed that I wasn't a normal child, like having normal experiences, because I would do half days at school and then go straight to the studio and train for hours on end.
Yeah.
And that was my life and I loved it. I was the one that was asking for that.
Yeah.
So they really wanted to maintain these childhood experiences, like going to a prom or this, where I was like, I'm not going to need this in the future. This isn't going to help my dance career. And they were like, no, you need this to be a human being. And I'm really, now looking back, I'm grateful that I had that, because I was not a social kid. I just was always so driven and motivated. But now looking back, I like when I'm looking at my child now, I want him to have those experiences.
Yeah.
He needs to be a kid, because I think the reason why they forced me to have a normal upbringing is what made me not lose my passion for dance. I didn't burn out, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I always knew that I wanted to make it a career. And at that time, like So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars were exploding.
Yeah.
So I saw a path of maybe I can do this and maybe I can pursue it and it will become a thing.
Yeah.
Didn't know how or what the tools were to get me there, but I was just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said something that I was going to ask about. So jumping forward a little bit, now, unless you want to stay there for a sec, now that dance like is your job, is it hard to keep that passion, or how do you, like, do those lines get blurred?
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
And I had to figure that out, I think the hard way. Especially with Dancing with the Stars, it's so incredible, but it can become pretty monotonous in the rhythm of things, right? You meet a celebrity, you have this journey, you get eliminated, you win, you go on tour. And I was getting into a rhythm that wasn't making me inspired, but because I wasn't reinventing myself as a choreographer, as a dancing, I was just kind of going through the motions. And so it wasn't until I was pregnant. Well, actually, no. I really wanted to be pregnant and I was having a hard time getting pregnant. And I'd had a miscarriage and I was just like, my world was crumbling. I was so lost, so confused. And I was asked to dance with a girl that coming season. And in my mind, I had wanted to take a break from the show because I wanted to be pregnant. So I was already kind of like one foot in, 1 foot out. And I was just like, I don't know if I can handle this. Anyway, I said yes. And I ended up dancing with JoJo Siwa. And that really like reignited my love for dance. And it was a challenge. The choreography had to be different from what I had ever done before. And the way I approached things, like I couldn't rely on things I had just done so easily in the past.
Yeah.
And that I think was such a turning point for me where I realized like it's on me to keep this passion alive.
Reignite the flame.
Yeah. Like I've got to approach things differently. I can't just take each season and do the same motions because then I'm going to get really burnt out and I'm not going to love it. Yeah. And so I think that was a really big moment for me. And then I ended up getting pregnant right after that season and taking a season off and getting to watch the show from the sidelines and be in the audience also then made me miss being on the dance floor. And I had to have those conversations of like, why do I love dance? Why am I missing it? You know? And so I think timing was so perfect for me in that year and a half of like having to confront where I was at with my biggest joy in my career. And I wasn't happy. I just felt stuck. I wasn't going anywhere. And then missing it. And then re-falling in love with it. And then I was so excited to come back after I had my son. I was just energized. And I was like, okay, I'm never going to take this for granted again. And then just so many beautiful things in dance happened after that. Like we were nominated for an Emmy. And then I ended up winning this past season with Joey. So I think I needed that dull moment to be like, why do I love this? Don't take this for granted. It can be taken away from you so fast. And then I just really put the pressure on me to like, this is up to you then.
Yeah.
Keep the fire alive.
Yeah. I have one more.
Don't apologize.
This question is going to require you to brag about yourself. So, but is there, okay, so this last season, the one that you won with Joey, is the first season I've ever watched.
What?
And I'm hooked now. I get it now.
I've been trying to get him to watch it for so long.
I've seen episodes. I've seen random
yeah.
episodes.
Okay, but you were
this
like
was the one where
beginning
I watched the whole season.
Yeah.
Great one to start with.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great one to start with.
From what I've gathered,
Okay.
you are like the choreographer guru. Like you're like known for that, famously. How do you become that? Where does the choreographer in you come from?
That is such a great question because I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for everybody, but I'll tell you how it happened for me.
Okay.
Because again, we were trained to be dancers, exquisite dancers, right? But choreography isn't something that's like, here's how you orchestrate a great dance or come up with formations. But I luckily had amazing mentors that inspired me to want to be a choreographer. A couple, my sisters.
Okay.
Both of them are really great choreographers as well. They're just smart when it comes to like spacing, transitions, how to come up with a routine from beginning to end that makes sense. And, it's exciting. Then I started working with a choreographer named Mandy Moore at a very young age. I think she started coming to our studio when I was around 8. And so I've just watched her choreograph for so many years. Yeah. And I was so lucky to work with her on So You Think You Can Dance. And then when I joined Dancing with the Stars, she was like the head choreographer doing all of the opening numbers at the time. Oh. And she did that for a couple of years. And she would ask me to come in early and help assist her or to kind of prep some moves before everybody else came in.
Oh, wow.
And so I really felt like I got a firsthand, here is how you choreograph a brilliant routine, because she is, in my opinion, the best of the best.
She's like a legend, right?
Yes. She, for those of you that don't know who Mandy Moore is, she did La La Land. She did, she choreographed all the dance scenes for Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. She's just...
Did she do Taylor's tour?
She did the Eras tour.
She did?
She choreographed the Eras tour. She's done almost all of the Dancing with the Stars tours. She's just so smart. And I think our brains are similar, and she approaches it very like visually and this is how I do it now, where I have to have a notebook. And every time I get a new routine or a new song, I have to listen to it over and over again. I write out all of the 8s. I write out specific lyrics that like make me feel a certain type of way, whether it says like heart or embrace or whatever it is that I know that I want to pinpoint in the choreography and like make a moment. She's all about moments. And for me, that's what makes dance so relatable and special, is if you can make somebody feel an emotion or feeling or a sensation. And so I just really learned everything I know from her. Wow. I'm so grateful for her and everything she's done. And yeah, she's just the absolute best. And I feel like Val and I learned a lot from her together. Mm-hmm. And she always had us prep with her together. And that's what really also formed our relationship when it comes to choreography as well. We just figured out what worked for us and how to come up with routines together. So yeah, that's kind of how it happened for me. But for me, I guess I just love visuals. I love emotion. I always want people to feel something when they watch my routines. Yep. So that's kind of how I approach it as a choreographer. But there is no rule book. Like, here's how to do it. I just kind of like do it.
Good. Yeah. It's so good. It's so true. How are you and Val together when you're choreographing things? Like, how do you, because we work together in the sense of obviously we're doing this, but like there's not like you can be like, I think we should go left. He's like, no, we should definitely go to like, how do you
it's interesting.
settle a disagreement? Because with us, I feel like it's a lot easier. He's like, no, we should actually start a social club like this. I'm like, okay, great. Let's do that. But like, you can actually have like two.
Yeah, I guess no, for sure. I guess to like relate it, it was if you would be doing like his acting scene and he was like, I think you should cry on this part. And you're like, I really don't think I should cry. It's not the right emotion.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is for us when we're creating.
Yeah.
we both are very opinionated. We're both Aries, if that means anything to anybody. But so we're fire and fire.
Yeah.
And we both think we're right most of the time, which is really fun. But no, I think there's also no rule book on how to work with your spouse or create with your spouse. I think both of us are very passionate and have an intimate relationship with dance. Yeah. And so we have to respect that first and foremost, like coming into a space together. But he always pushes me and challenges me in the studio that I need that. And I always feel like some of my best work comes from his opinion or his challenge or his push. And so I really love creating with him. Also too, when it comes to like emotion and things, getting to dance then our own movement is so special. It's just like, I don't know how to, it's just euphoric, really. It's just doing something with the person that you love most. It's just magic. But getting to create a piece like the Len Goodman tribute that we were asked to choreograph 2 seasons ago.
They won an Emmy.
That one. That was very stressful because we understood the pressure, first of all, and the sentiment. How do you pay tribute to someone's legacy in 3 minutes with dance moves? Yeah. But dance is so special in that sense that it can create the most glorious emotions through movement. Yeah. And I think when there's a general or a cohesive intention behind the movement, that's when magic happens. And that was what happened in the ballroom. So yes, we did a great piece. We choreographed good movement, but I think everybody showing up having a similar intention and emotion is what really made that piece come to life. So
it was so beautiful.
Thanks.
You guys really
I did love that number.
Summer means vacations, outdoor adventures, and longer days, but also less time spent cooking healthy meals at home. If you're reaching for quick solutions that compromise your nutrition, Tempo has your back. With fresh, protein-rich meals ready in just 3 minutes, you can fuel your summer fun without sacrificing your health or valuable free time. Tempo, the official partner of the 2025 CrossFit Games, delivers fresh, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your door. Packed with protein, their delicious meals help keep you fueled and ready for your next workout. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good single-serve meals that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes, so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. With new recipes each week that are made with real ingredients and nutrient-rich, they make it so easy to keep up a healthy lifestyle. Tempo also has perfectly portioned lunches and dinners that take the guesswork out of eating well. I rely on Tempo because life is so busy, and I feel like in summer it just somehow gets even more busy. And having a healthy meal like Tempo, ready and available in 3 minutes, really just helps me fuel my body with good food. Tempo offers a variety of meals for different dietary and taste preferences, including protein-packed, calorie-conscious, carb-conscious, and fiber-rich. And right now, for a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/squeeze. That's tempomeals.com/squeeze for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/squeeze. Rules and restrictions may apply. If you run a salon, med spa, or any other personal care company, you got into this business to help people look and feel their best. But if your day-to-day is filled with scheduling headaches, missed appointments, and systems that add stress to your day, it might feel impossible to feel your best. That's why you need Boulevard. Boulevard is the #1 client experience platform built specifically for appointment-based self-care businesses. Because salons, spas, barbershops, med spas, and other self-care businesses are so personal, the platform powering your business should feel the same. It's not just software, it's a smarter, more personal and organized way to manage all your business locations in one place. Whether it's online bookings, payments, appointment reminders, client profiles, and more, Boulevard makes every interaction seamless and every part of your business look polished and professional. No more no-shows, scheduling headaches, or chaos behind the counter, just smoother operations and happier clients. Plus, Boulevard helps you elevate your marketing, generates custom reports, manages memberships, taking your business as far as you want to go. See why top beauty and wellness brands choose Boulevard to empower their team and grow their business. Right now, Boulevard is offering new customers 10% off your first year subscription when you join BLVD.com/squeeze and book a demo. That's JOINBLVD.com/squeeze. Book a demo and get 10% off your first year. Should we talk about Joey?
Joseph.
Absolutely.
We just had him and Kelsey over the other night. Finally, we've had them on the podcast separately, but we've been trying to plan a double date with them for literally ever. And we found one Monday that everyone was in town. We were like, come over, have dinner. But
we did it.
We did do it. What was your experience dancing with Joey?
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
What a nightmare.
Oh man, Joseph. He is just one of the best people I've ever met. Truly. I did not watch his season of The Bachelor at all. Mm-hmm. And he knows this. But I had kind of stopped watching it. But my sister is a very avid Bachelor fan. Okay. And so when she found out that he was going to be on, she was like, Jenna, dead. You have to have Joey. And I was like, really? He seems kind of boring. Because he wasn't ever controversial during that, from what I had heard. There was no crazy headlines ever, which
boring
because he's the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, yeah. Anyway, we met, and immediately I just felt like we'd known each other our whole lives. He is very scarily a doppelganger to one of my brothers. And so maybe that's what connected us so quickly. But he, my brother plays tennis, has played it through college.
Oh, wow.
One of the most genuine, generous people I've ever met. Understanding, emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
And that was Joey. He was just he's just great. And was down.
So down.
Yeah.
He's just a guy's guy, just down.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an ego, cares, but never, ever took anything I said to him personally. And I wasn't always the easiest to deal with. I had my days for sure, but he just wanted to do well and wanted to get better and wanted to experience all that Dancing with the Stars had to offer. So whether that was wear a wig for hair metal night that looked so crazy, or to rip open his shirt for the 4th time because I was like, give the people what they want. He was just down.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people loved him so much.
Yeah.
That's what the show's about. If you think about it, we're just dancing around in rhinestones, acting like fools, kind of. But if you embrace it and start to love dance as much as he did, people feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you could really feel he wanted it for you just as much as you wanted it for him. And I feel like even a couple weeks in, that was very apparent that it was you both wanted it for yourselves, but also equally as much for the other.
Just to kind of give you a tidbit of Joey, when we won, that moment was such a blur. And I just remember screaming looking at him, jumping up and down, just being like, Joey. And Alfonso came over to him and was like, Joey, what does this moment feel like for you? He took the mic and the first thing he said was, I just wanted this for Jenna more than anything. And I'm so happy she had her moment. That's the type of person he is.
Yeah.
He's just, gonna be in my life forever. I'm so happy we got to experience that chapter together. I know that you don't come across those partners or relationships very often. So I will hold that near and dear to my heart forever. He was just 1 in a billion.
That's so sweet.
Why was he so good? It doesn't make
it doesn't make sense.
Week 2, we were going, why is he good?
He's not a he took a mambo class in college one time. And he was like, I rarely showed up. But the reason why he's so good is he knows music.
Okay.
He can, he has natural rhythm, which for a white guy is really hard.
Huge.
And to naturally be able to, I've seen you move.
He just needs a little tequila, then he's fine.
Great. We could take a shot every show. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
You could take one. I would watch, cheer you on, and we could go do the jive. No, but yeah, Joey's just so great.
I remember after I think it was week 4 I went to a taping. And
oh yes, I saw you.
Also, that was one of the sweetest moments. I came home and told Taylor about like this, like while the show was going on, like you are all in your own world. Obviously, you're doing this live show.
Yeah.
And after like I was, halfway up in the audience and you and Val saw me, you guys like waved and you both ran over and gave me a hug. And I came home, I was like, that was just one of the sweetest things. Like this is like your guys' time. You're in your lane, you're in your zone, you're putting on this show after you're probably exhausted, like you're ready to go home. You've been there since 8 a.m. And the fact that you both like one saw me, acknowledged me, and like came up and were just chatting with me. It's like I just thought it was really sweet. And I was like, you guys didn't like you're in the middle of doing your thing. You did not need to say hi.
I think it's so comforting, and it's so comforting to see familiar faces in the audience in those stressful environments because our families don't come as often. His parents will have a heart attack if they ever watch the show in person. They like can't handle the stress. My family travels when they can, but every week it's like strangers. Yeah. So when there are those spaces that feel like home, it means a lot. It's grounding. So of course, I was so happy to see you. That made me.
I was at the
take a deep breath.
Yeah, I was at the finale too, and that was so fun. Like getting to like see that all firsthand happen was just like so exciting and
nuts.
I wanted it so badly for you guys because I knew how badly you wanted it, but also just the love and respect and commitment you guys had to doing it for each other was truly just
didn't
the
you
best.
you told
Thank
me
you.
that after whatever week it was, 4, you told me that you told Jenna
when
that
we
you
talked
guys could
after,
win.
I was like, why is Joey so good? And you're like, I have no clue. And I was like, I think you could win. And you're like, I know, I think so. And I got home and my friend was like, did you just jinx it for her? I was like, no, I'm manifesting. I'm
You did.
manifesting it for her.
Thank you. Do I owe this to you? Do I owe the Mirrorball to you?
Keep it. It's fine.
Wow. No, thank you. I saw early on that we might have a chance, but you just never know. And there were so many good contenders. Alona, Chandler, Steven. There were so many, Danny, there were so many good personalities. So I just was like, whatever it is, I'll be happy because I've just had such a fulfilling season with Joey. Yeah. But to be able to take it home was really the cherry on top.
Yeah.
How do you like, what's the mentality going into next season now? Are you just like, you're fine with whatever? Or do you like want it again?
I'm so competitive. I'm so grateful. And I'm going to stay in that moment of being like, I just had a once in a lifetime opportunity last season with someone so special. I'm not going to forget about that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be too greedy, but I'd still love to have an impact this upcoming season. That's always the goal. So whether it's a different approach, whether it's really focusing on choreography and having more moments in that regard, like I'm excited. I love, it's like the beginning of a new school year, honestly. You're just like, ooh, what's going to happen?
I'm so excited. I need them to just bring back 2 years.
2 seasons a year. Why not? It'd be so fun.
Ups my chances of getting on.
Heyo.
Do you have any more dance questions?
No, I asked my dance questions.
You got them all out.
Uh-huh.
Are you sure? That's funny. Okay, let's talk about motherhood.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, so we said last time when you were here,
Rome was 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months old.
And now by the time this comes out, he'll be almost 2.5.
Literally, almost. Yeah. Wow. Time flies.
How's parenting changed for you over these past couple of years?
Well, I think in the beginning, you're kind of just like in survival mode of like, what is our new routine? We're now parents. Are we equipped to do this?
Yeah.
And you're kind of just like day by day taking it. And now he's this little man with a personality and a voice and an opinion. And it's so fun. He is just the yummiest little squish.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
But is this a good age?
This is
the
great.
Fun stage?
Here's the thing. People say like terrible twos, which I understand because he does have his moments for sure. But I've been reading these things about their emotions are starting to really tap in right now, and they don't know these big feelings that they're feeling. Yeah. So if he's having an outburst or something, I shouldn't think of it in a negative regard of like I'm doing something wrong, but he's trying to figure out how to navigate through these strong emotions.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to convince myself of that, these strong emotions that are happening. Right. But it is such a fun age. Like the new words or phrases that he's putting together, I don't know where he started school. So I feel like he's been learning a lot of new things from school, but he just started saying, and I don't know why this word takes me out, but when this little man human is looking at me and I say, Rome, you want to go ride your bike? Yeah, Mom. Yeah. I'm like, did you just think about that? Like, and also, where did you learn
Yeah.
Who said that to you?
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
just
gosh.
so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
So fun. And they have energy. They keep you on your toes. He's constantly making us laugh.
What does he have from both of you, personality-wise?
When I tell you, it's as if someone just like smashed me and Val.
Really?
Yes. Because there are so many attributes that I'm like, oh, that is Val. His personality, part of his personality. Like he's got this scowl, like this face. He's a little timid at first of people, which that's Val to a T.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know him, you're like, oh, Val is very reserved. He's a little intimidating. Yep. And then you get to know him and he's just like this goofy guy that wants to do comedy, stand up.
Yeah.
That's kind of Rome. Like he's very thoughtful, very methodical, and just like how his approaches to people or new experiences. But then he is funny. He is just goofy. I think he has a lot of my mannerisms when it comes to like our facial expressions. He has my very big eyes. And so he's really expressive. He loves music and singing.
Oh.
And I will not say that I am a singer at all. I will not claim that. But something that was really important in my upbringing, my mom sang to us constantly, just always singing lullabies, nursery rhymes, whatever it was. We were always singing. And so since Rome came home from the hospital, we sing like songs every night together. And then Val started doing it. It's so funny because the difference in our songs, I'm singing like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and I Love You, You Love Me from Barney. Val's over here singing New York State of Mind to my 2-year-old.
Stop.
And guess what? He knows almost all of the lyrics to New York State of Mind.
No.
But he's got an incredible voice and he loves music. So it's it's so fun to see like their interest. But man, he just makes life so much better.
That's awesome.
I'm curious what's been the biggest thing that you've learned or something that's been a lot more meaningful or surprising to you?
I think a common denominator in my life is this need for control. Mm-hmm. I am such a control freak. Yeah. And I think motherhood or parenthood in general, you have to let go a lot. You've got to just go with the flow. Yeah. Give into certain situations. And I think that that's actually been one of the best things for me. Something that therapy could never really trigger my pinpoint on how to let go fully. Yeah. Motherhood has just been that where my house is going to probably be a disaster one day and that's okay. Or we're going to go on a flight with my 2-year-old and he's not going to behave perfectly and that is okay. Yeah. Or I'm not going to have my full to-do list done by the end of the day. That's freaking okay. Yeah. Like life goes on as long as everyone is healthy and happy and smiling.
Yeah.
Like life is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think also just I care less about what people think.
Yeah.
Because I have so much more purpose where before kids, people's comments about me or what I did or my life or how I looked, this, that, they would affect me in a certain, to a point, certain extent. And now I'm just like, unless you're my son or my husband, I really don't care about your opinion to a degree because like this is all that matters to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to obsess over this. I don't have time, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I want to be in my bubble.
Yeah.
And if people's opinions or hate or whatever is going to burst that, I don't need it. I don't have time for it. So I think those have been some really powerful things that have like saved me in a sense from motherhood, which I was not expecting.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
How obviously you work in the sense of you're a boss mom and you are getting your work done. You're doing Dancing with the Stars, touring, doing all of this stuff. I'm curious if you struggle at all with mom guilt, because I think moms put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of women feel like they either have to sacrifice their career or give something up in order to be a mom.
Yeah.
Curious how you've dealt with that.
I definitely have felt mom guilt for sure. Last season was the first time I had made it all the way to the end of the show, to the finale, and been an active mom. And I was having to leave my son hours on end, and I was also exhausted. And so that was interesting, trying to figure it out. And I knew that there was an end goal, you know? And so I think that also motivated me in a sense to like do it for him and show him why mommy has been away for so long. And I think showing him what passion is and never losing that has been important for me. But also just barely, my most recent mom guilt has been going on the Dancing with the Stars tour. And this past tour, they weren't able to accommodate our whole family. And we didn't really get into it or announce why we weren't going together. But, you know, there was an opportunity for myself and Joey to go right after we had won. And I debated on whether to go because I was going to have to leave Rome and my husband for quite a while. And Val was just so, not adamant, but he was very supportive and saying, like, you should do this.
Yeah.
When else are you going to have this moment? Right. And so he really helped push me into like going on the tour. While I was away, I was getting all of these DMs and comments because I would share Rome at home and us FaceTiming before bedtime or what he was doing while I was away. People were like, wow, I could never leave my child for that long. Like, you should be at home with your son, all of this stuff, you know, just like crazy comments, which to each their own. Yeah. But so that did make me feel guilty, I guess.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I know that I will look back on that time and be so grateful that I did it for myself in a selfish way, which I think you have to have moments of selfishness in motherhood to not lose yourself fully, which is really, really hard to do. But, you know, Rome got to come out and visit me on tour and he got to see me perform and he got to be backstage and he got to like sit in the audience during meet and greet. Like, these are moments that I know that we'll look back on as a family and be like, how special was that time, you know? But also I'm grateful that I have quite a few moms on the show as well that are navigating it. So getting to confide in someone like a Daniela or a Peta or a Whitney who are going through those same struggles, I think it's really awesome to have that circle to be able to trust and like vent to.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about that aspect of there is other moms on the show.
Yeah.
And that's something that they're completely also navigating.
Yeah. It's a first for a lot of us. So to be able to do it together and to kind of lean on each other, I'm so grateful for. Like, Daniela had her daughter on the road and I felt like I got to be mommy to her in certain moments, you know, and get my little like toddler fix, which was so special. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Her and Rome are close.
They're a couple months apart.
Oh my gosh.
I think 5 months apart, Nikita and Rome. Yeah.
She's the cutest. When the two of them are together, like,
a love story.
Truly.
An arranged marriage for sure, low key, but
There's videos of this.
Of them together.
Pictures and videos.
I'll need to see those.
You need to just follow everyone because there's so many cute kid videos. Like I was telling him about Lindsay posting like Sage stepping on her little like stars and squares.
I see the Sage videos.
Yes.
Yeah. She's one of a kind.
Sage needs her own show, honestly.
Yeah. It's like
absolutely.
Her personality is crazy.
Yeah, she's coming for all of our jobs and I'm here for it. I'm like, take it.
Yeah.
Come on,
she's
sweetie.
so funny.
She is really cute. She probably does need her own show.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to Lindsay about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time you were here, you touched a little bit on going to therapy after your miscarriage.
Yeah.
We didn't dive too much into that time. I'd love to kind of hear about that time for you and what made you take the step into actually going to therapy. If you're comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm a big therapy advocate, but I think at that time I just felt so lost, so dark, rock bottom. I didn't know who I was, what my purpose was, what my worth was. I was mourning this thing that I wanted more than anything, which was pregnancy and this baby. And Val and I had a lot of deep conversations, and I think he could sense that I was a shell of myself.
Yeah.
And he was one of the ones that really encouraged me to like, maybe you need to see somebody or talk with somebody, because there were just certain things that he couldn't relate to. And I'm sure he was hearing the same story over and over that I was crying about or venting about. And I think there's certain conversations that you need to have with your spouse, but I think there's also certain conversations that somebody else needs to help navigate for you, without this emotional biased opinion. So he was like, if you feel comfortable, I think this is something that you should do. And we actually both started to go to therapy at that time. I felt like also our relationship was just not where it needed to be as well. And it was because I wasn't me. I wasn't Jenna. Yeah. So I started to go to therapy then, and that really, really helped me. I remember I was so embarrassed because my first appointment, I don't even know if I spoke. I just mostly sobbed the whole time.
Oh, wow.
But I kind of needed that, and she was so understanding and just like there for me. But I just remember being like, oh my gosh, I'm one of those. Like I just sobbed in her chair the whole time.
The fact that you felt comfortable enough though.
I think I was just there. I was at that point where I just needed to.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how much better I felt after just like having a safe space.
Yeah.
And then we really started to work on things and to talk about where this was coming from, really dive in childhood things that had been brought into my adult life, this pressure, this need to control. There were so many things I learned. I went in trying to not fix the situation, but kind of help mourn this miscarriage.
Yeah.
But I ended up learning so much more in that process. And I just love therapy. Everybody needs to do it. I think if you're up for it, you need to be open. But it just really saved me in that time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. We both are big therapy.
Was this the first did you get lucky on the first time?
Yeah.
With the therapist?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This was,
Sometimes it takes
and
people.
It's interesting because I was with her after I had experienced my miscarriage. We had stopped trying to get pregnant, and I was still with her when I actually found out I was pregnant with Rome. And I remember I had to cancel an appointment because I was so sick, and I had found out that day that I was pregnant. And so I was like, I have to actually cancel. I'm so sorry. I'm pregnant. Like, I think I'm pregnant. And she was very happy with me or for me. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting because I think that's also when I was confronted about certain things about my body that I was not expecting to come forth in these therapy sessions. So it was just so helpful for me to really like confront so many things that I was dealing with, but pushing aside or suppressing. But through that like miscarriage experience, I learned and gained so much.
Wow. This might be a personal question, totally fine to cut it out, but I'm curious how now, having struggled with fertility, is it scary for you wanting to try again? Like, how do you approach that? Because I'm sure there's pressure, but also like such a fear behind it.
a lot of people have been asking us recently, you know, like baby number 2, are you guys, you know, when's the next baby going to come? And it's something that I've had to voice to Val is it's terrifying for me to want to jump into that again because I remember the first time being so desperate for this baby and it really put me in such a bad place. Again, not that that's how it's going to go again, but I think even tapping into that past just scares me so bad. So I think that's kind of made me want to take my time and not rush into anything or, you know, just take a different approach, which I think we will when we're ready to start trying for baby number 2. But it's been something that I did not expect was that like trauma of peeing on ovulation sticks, tracking my periods, peeing on thousands of pregnancy tests and them all being negative. Like that is a time in my life that really wrecked me. So it is scary. But then again, like I just on a fluke got pregnant with Rome and that was such a beautiful experience. We weren't trying. So again, I don't know how it's going to go this next time.
Yeah.
But it does really, really scare me.
Yeah. I feel like when that time does come, I feel like you'll be well equipped because of everything, all the work that you've put in.
Yes.
And I feel like you'll be able to handle things however they go for you.
Yeah.
It seems like you'll be in a really good headspace because you've put the work in.
I agree. And thank you for that. But I think I need to just have the mindset of like, everybody has their own journey and their own path to this. And would I take back what happened to me all those years ago? No, because it's it got me to where I am today. So I know that even in those low points in our life, there's always a better outcome. There's always a journey that you learn something from. So I just got to take it how it is and go with the flow, and whatever's meant to happen will happen. But I thought I would be like, let's bang them out back to back to back.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's been so interesting for me to be like, oh, this does scare me. I'm not sure I want to do that again.
Yeah. I'm curious what advice you have for women that are struggling with infertility.
Something that really got me through was watching other people's videos. I know that's so weird to say, but these YouTube videos of these vulnerable, beautiful women that were strong enough to open up about their experiences really got me through. I remember like in the middle of the night watching these videos about their trying to conceive journey. They were the ones that gave me hope. And every time they got a positive pregnancy test, I remember like crying during some of them because I was so invested in their journey and I was so happy for them. And so I think if you can find a community that you feel safe enough to be open with, or to even secretly watch videos or keep tabs on what they're doing, like that's what gave me hope. And to not stop trying or to like lose faith in this whole journey. So I'm so grateful to this. They call it the TTC, trying to conceive community that puts themselves out there for people. I really, really looked to them. And even during my miscarriage, there was another beautiful community that I was not expecting, who had shared their stories. And that's, I feel like, what helped me really heal in those moments.
Yeah. We talk about like, I feel like we mainly focus on the negatives of social media because there are.
Yeah.
But in instances like this, they could be such a healing community, just life-giving space.
So true.
I think yes, I so agree with you. I've tried to, now I look at my social media more of a journal, because I see the value in being vulnerable and open. Yeah. Obviously, people can come in real hot with some negativity, but I just know that those accounts that I get to look to and be like, wow, I'm so grateful they shared that tidbit because I feel seen, I feel heard. That's exactly how I feel. And they're strangers. They don't know me. Yeah. You know, I just really was so impacted by that. And so I've tried to have that same approach when it comes to my own social media, be like a journal and be open, because you never know what somebody's going through. Yeah. And there have been many times where beautiful moms have reached out to me and been like, thank you for sharing this. Like I went through something similar, all of this. So yeah. And anyone that's going through infertility, miscarriage, like don't give up. Don't give up. Do what you need to do for you, but it's going to happen one way or another. Maybe not on your timeline, but just do not give up. Don't lose that hope. Your baby is waiting for you. And when they come to you, it's going to fulfill every need that you ever dreamed of. So
That got me emotional.
I know. So sweet.
yeah.
Like sucking my tears back up. What's next for you?
What a transition.
I can't formulate a thought that really. Well, no. When I was watching back our interview with the both of you, it was really at a time where we were very new to this whole infertility, miscarriage thing. Nothing personally, but
I remember you had said friends.
Yeah,
had
we had friends
experienced it.
that were told they would never naturally get pregnant. Tried for years, did multiple rounds of IVF, finally got pregnant, and then randomly on a fluke got naturally pregnant 8 months after that baby was born. And we've had people close to us have miscarriages since then, struggle with infertility. I think we told you guys we had 2 people at our wedding that had just found out they were pregnant and both of them miscarried. So it was like really eye-opening. It was an eye-opening time for us because I feel like it's talked about more, but how common miscarriages are and how common infertility is.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been cool. It was cool to watch that back to hear like how shocked we were that 1 in 4 women like have a miscarriage. And
Yeah.
And
like,
then in
it
the
was-
last 2 years, we've seen it.
Yeah.
With all of our friends.
Yeah. So many people in
Family.
our life.
Yeah.
But it's been cool to see the evolution of even how we're talking about it just from 2 years ago to now. So I'm really thankful for you guys coming on and sharing that because it was a cool moment for us to like sit down and talk with a couple about it. And, you know, obviously we'll start trying at some point here. And I feel like we've been able to learn a lot from people like you and Val about it and like how, you know, it's likely that's going to happen. Like something like that is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? God willing not, but
It's,
hearing those stories, it helps prepare you in a sense.
It is very crazy how common it is. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned through all of this and all of the research is there's really nothing wrong with you
Yeah.
or nothing that you do to create this instance for yourself. And I think that was something that I struggled with. I was so resentful of my body. I felt like it had failed me, just like my tool that had been my best friend for my career and my biggest passion. I was so angry at it because I also miscarried while I was dancing, or that's when I felt it starting. And so I think just knowing that like your body is going to figure it out and it's also going to protect you because the egg that I had wasn't healthy. So my body was protecting me because whether it would have survived and died or, you know, it knows, your body knows best. So there's nothing that you can do, you did for anybody that has this experience that like could prevent it.
Yeah.
I think just also having that in the back of your head. And also during all of this, my brother and my sister-in-law, we were pregnant at the same time when I was pregnant with Rome. And they were a couple weeks ahead of us. And she had a healthy pregnancy, her whole 9 months. Everything was great. She went in to have the baby and she ended up having a stillbirth. And that, I just remember being like, what is this word? Stillborn, stillbirth. I had heard about it in passing, but to experience it with our family. And then since then, the amount of people that I know that have had a stillborn or stillbirth, it's insane. And again, there's just like some things that you cannot do or cannot avoid. And so I think just being so grateful and present in the moments that you are pregnant or you do have your baby, because life just happens and it's unfair sometimes, but these are our own little trials that we have to go through. So yeah, it's crazy what the body can do, does, and then how precious life is.
Yeah.
Really, really, truly.
Sure.
Yeah. It's such an amazing outlook. But genuinely, what is next? What are you? Do you have anything fun coming up? What are you excited about? Obviously, we're excited for Dancing with the Stars when that time comes.
Yes.
But
Dancing with the Stars was picked up for season 34. So that's so exciting. Again, we'd never know if we're actually on the season. We always cross our fingers, hope that we are. So
I got a good feeling about you.
I sure hope so. I would love that. But also, I think I'm really excited these next couple of years. I really want to push myself to be outside of my comfort zone. I love thriving in like comfort, Jenna.
Yeah.
And I think my husband, as crazy and spontaneous as he is, he just inspires me every day. I mentioned to you that he's been like trying this stand-up comedy, and I just couldn't fathom anybody wanting to try that in their adulthood, just like
Totally.
because they were excited to do that and put themselves in scary situations. But he's really inspired me to want to do those things that I've always wanted to do. And I think something that has always been on a bucket list for me, but I've kind of just like pushed it off for when I'm done dancing. But I really want to do Broadway. I'd love to do more live theater, like a Chicago, Roxy Hart, like some, I want to audition. I want to like put in the work. I want to prepare myself for a time when I can do that,
Yeah.
So whether that's near future or not, I want to start putting in the work to do that. I really would love to do
I
that.
can definitely see that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you would be so freaking good.
I love dancing for TV, for live TV. I love choreographing for it, but there is no feeling like dancing for a live audience.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing the tour, is just like that intimate experience you're having with an audience member and their initial response to something you do. Like you can't get that with the TV screen, you know? So it's just something I'm really passionate about. So we'll see where that leads. I'm going to manifest it.
We're gonna manifest it.
I feel like
We're
gotta
manifesting
do
it
that.
right here,
yeah.
right here, right now.
Would you ever consider being a deal or no deal girl?
Listen,
I gotta warn you, my husband may have a crush on you.
never say never. Never say never. I know some really amazing people that have been deal or no deal girls. So
So good.
So good.
I wouldn't put it past me.
Yep.
Noted.
I'll give you all the drama when I open the briefcase.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks for coming and chatting.
Yes.
I can't wait to see how your episode does against Val's.
Oh, come on, you guys. Like, subscribe, do all the things.
Watch it 5 times.